helping each other.
Welcome to Queen's Journey. I am your host, Janine McBath.
Helping each other.
Welcome back, ladies, and thank you for joining me on another episode of Queen's Journey. Not too long ago, I overheard a conversation where someone referred to another woman as a traditional Filipino woman. Her tone and her facial expression intrigued me, and I wanted to know more. And not just about Filipino culture, but other cultures as well. You see, we all have traditions native to our nationality that distinguishes us from one another. They come from generations past, or we adopt them from our environment. So today's guest comes from more than 6,000 miles away by air, a beautiful island country in East Asia known as Japan. Help me welcome Takako Moore.
Thank you, Lady J, for having me. And I will say Japanese. どうもありがとうございました。
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for being with us. Well, Takako, tell us a little bit about yourself, your country, and your experiences growing up as a young girl.
So I was born, raised in Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo is very, very known mega city and close to 200 million people. 10% is lives in Tokyo, small island with a lot of people, so very dense area. I have my younger brother, older brother, and younger brother, and a younger sister. And my parents used to work at a gas company.
Oh, okay.
And my mom was a nurse.
Okay.
So that's
Wow.
my family is. Yes.
Now, what was it like to be a young girl?
Actually, I was a very active person,
Okay.
and I love sports. And of course, I love dancing. And my parents growing up in World War II time.
Okay.
When they was a child, they don't have access to the luxury because of the war. I think 5 years or something. They have to separate the live together.
Wow.
Yes. So the parents living in different area, and the kids just being camped out. So they'll make sure the kids are safe.
Wow.
My mother and parents both doesn't have those luxury, so she wanted us to have all the things that we want to do.
Right.
That was her dream for us to do whatever we want to do. Let them have it. So I kind of spoiled.
Right. That's a good spoil.
Yes. So I went to class for taking playing piano lesson, to the arts classes, play volleyball and soccer. And my parents used to take it every season, different places trip. Summer we go swimming in the ocean, and winter time we go skis. And
Wow.
I was
You did
spoiled.
a lot.
Yes,
You were spoiled. You did
I
a
was
lot.
spoiled, yes.
Okay, now, just tell me a little bit about your journey coming to the States.
Okay, I was married
Okay.
to a U.S. sailor.
Okay.
And I met him in Tokyo.
Okay.
So that's how I first came to the United States. But I lived in Hawaii for 12 years.
Oh.
12 years, and then California, maybe few years. And I went back in Japan for the military, for my ex-husband.
Okay.
Military. And then I moved into Illinois and came to Virginia.
Wow.
That's what that.
You've been moving around.
I love it.
Okay. So the United States was totally different from where you originally came from.
I wouldn't say totally,
Okay.
but a lot of things are different.
Okay.
Because the U.S. has freedom,
Okay.
and Japan is more strict
Okay.
for a lot of things. And thinking of the culture is different.
Okay.
Our Asian is more holistic culture, and in Western, in the individual culture. People in Japan, they always care what I'm doing. Is that affecting my family? Shame, that's kind of always be not always, but the conformity is very strong in Japan.
Right.
Because okay, what next neighbor do, I would do the same thing.
So in America, we have the opportunity to go about and do what we want, or what feels best to us. But in Japan, there's more conformity where you have to conform to what your neighbor does.
The family does.
Okay.
So the family is very important, very important.
So how did that feel to you when you had to come here to the United States and you noticed everybody was doing their own thing and you didn't have to conform? Was that kind of difficult for you?
Yes, at the very beginning, I have a lot of culture shock.
A lot of culture shock, I bet you did.
I am already became American, but at the very beginning, I was like, what did they do? Why they do that? It's kind of always thinking, even with marriage, and I was like, I don't understand why you are doing.
Right.
So I have to, talking and through, and I learned this in psychology class that Japanese language and English is kind of opposite way.
Right.
So we in Japanese language we say the verb at the very end.
Okay.
So you have to listen until very end to say what you're trying to say the point.
Okay.
Because the verb is at the
verb is at the end of the sentence.
Right.
Wow.
So that kind of thinking is I learned in psychology. Oh, that's why I think. So I was talking to my ex. Sometimes we have, disagreement.
Right.
I explained everything.
Right.
And then I was trying to tell the point. And then he said, make a point first. I don't understand. Make a point.
Right.
So I was like, why are you keeping us? And then that's a culturally different.
Yeah.
Because the language, our head, our mind is thinking is different. Like that's how we speak in the English language. So I was like, oh, this is a very interesting point.
How long did it take you to even be able to communicate like that? I mean, because you were trying to learn how to communicate in his language.
And I did not speak in English but that well also at the very beginning. So I learned bit by bit. So it was very hard, but this is enjoyment to learn the different, because I love to learn different culture. So I love to learn American side. That's why I love to learn African American culture.
Right. How did you kind of relate to being married to an African American man?
Part of the thing is for me in Japan is I love my country, but it doesn't have diversity.
I didn't have diversity.
So I don't want to go back and live in because there's only almost 90% is all Japanese.
Okay.
So it doesn't have other culture.
Okay.
So I love diversity here.
Right.
You can meet any different color, ethnics, and you can learn the culture. So for me, that was more interesting and it's fun for me.
Oh, that is so good. All right. Now, talk a little bit about maybe some popular facets of the Japanese culture.
Yes.
Okay. I see that you have some interesting dishes to share with us today. So tell us what you have.
Okay, so I have.
This is exciting.
I made it American love.
Okay,
Japanese
this is American
food.
Japanese. Okay.
No, American love those foods. So I just made it. This for the tempura. I have shrimp tempura and green pepper and sweet potato and carrots and the shiitake mushroom. Those are tempura.
Okay.
And also teriyaki chicken.
Oh, okay.
And
can we taste this?
Yes, of course.
Okay. All right. Let's try it. All right. Now these things are not good for me. These, I'm glad you gave me.
Yes,
support.
I brought it.
Because this doesn't work for me. My husband always tries to help me do this, and I don't know how to do this. They're pretty though.
Yeah, in between. Yeah.
In between.
Yes, and you move this.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay. I do see sometimes they have like an elastic band on here for people who don't know how to do this. I've seen that.
That's only for here.
Oh, no. Okay, only only here.
Only
Okay.
here.
You don't do that over in Japan.
No,
Okay.
so
All right.
When I was
okay.
a kid, my mom used to. If you can't use it, my mom used it.
Really?
Yes.
She
so
would
that's
hit
how
you if you don't know how to use it. I mean, how small were you getting hit? I mean,
Three
years
yeah, when
old.
you have to use, this is our.
Do you have any like utensils like forks?
We
and
do
stuff at
have,
home? Oh, you do.
because for my generation time,
But back then you didn't have any.
I think a long time ago they don't have.
No.
Right,
Oh,
right.
wow.
This is
Okay.
come from a West culture.
This is the Western culture,
Right, so-
Okay, so we do this kind of sort. I'm going to cheat a little bit, okay?
It's okay.
And so this is teriyaki
Teriyaki chicken. Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna do it like this. Okay.
You're good, Pastor.
I don't know how to do that. Let's see. Okay. So, this is what we do. We're just gonna dip it down there like this, and
How's it taste?
good.
Okay,
Okay.
that's good. This is all home cooked meals
Okay.
that I made at home. And this is miso soup. I made it, if you open the miso soup with eggplants
Oh,
and
that's so cute.
yes, and other mushrooms on here.
Miso soup.
Yes, miso soup. And this one I made is green tea soba noodle with a
okay.
salad, with the
Okay.
cucumbers and.
Here we go again.
It's okay, Lady J. I brought the fork. so-
I'm trying to do this right. I'm not trying to use the fork. Okay, but this is gonna be all day. The whole show will be this. Okay,
That's
so this
okay.
is not working. Yes, we are gonna do this. All right. All right. All right. Okay, that's good. Now this is one person's meal.
Yes.
So like if there was 6 people, you would have to do this for 6 people. just
Right,
like
so
this.
we make them big and then plate them separately. That's how we eat Japanese food. Always like with like American food. You put in one plate for everything, but
Okay.
the Japanese food is normally rice is a main dishes, and we have something to eat with. And this today's big one is tempura. If that we go somewhere restaurant, if the rice is not good, we always say, "Ooh, I don't know about
Really?
this taste of the restaurant." Yeah.
So, okay, so if you go to a restaurant and the rice is not good, then you don't eat anything.
Well, we eat, but
Okay.
I said, let's see the taste. Rice is not good, so that's how we always determine. Like, okay,
Wow.
the rice was good, so food should be good. That's
Really? Usually for us, it's the food is got to be good. It's not so much the rice. The food has to be good, and the dessert has to be good.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay.
Because this rice is a main.
Okay.
And if you don't have a glue at home, and if you have a rice, we always have a rice.
Rice.
We use this for glue. It's like kids when you do something craft at school.
Right.
And we don't have a glue today.
You don't have glue,
My
so
mom
you use
used to
the
say,
rice.
Use rice. Use rice. So
You
they
use
stick.
rice for glue.
Yes.
Oh
They-
my
paper to paper, they stick.
That is so cool. I'm gonna tell my grandkids.
It has to be a sticky rice.
It has to be sticky rice.
Right.
though.
Dry
Okay.
rice. I don't think American dry rice.
Okay,
is
not
good.
American white rice.
helping each other.
All right, how much, let me ask you this question. How much of the Western ways of cooking have influenced you versus the way you have been taught to cook?
Well, I cook soul food.
Okay, all right.
I cook made a ham.
You cook ham? Oh my gosh.
collard green with,
Okay,
with,
collard greens?
with turkey neck.
Oh, with turkey necks? Oh my gosh, you
I
are
do.
westernized. Okay, all
So
right.
I'm married to,
Okay,
African
right.
American.
So you had to learn. All right, sister, you had to learn. Okay, all right.
When I get sick, I always want to go back. I just
Yeah.
want to eat the rice and miso soup. That's when I feel good. I don't want no macaroni and cheese.
No macaroni and cheese, okay, and no
I just
collard
wanna eat the
greens.
rice and miso soup. That makes me happy.
Is that a cleansing too for you?
Everybody says Japanese food is healthy because Japan has a long history of burning meat.
Wow.
Yes, by the time I think 640 something years, I don't remember exactly the time the emperor Ban eat meat. So that's how they started the soybeans, using soybeans to make a soy sauce and everything. A lot of stuff has protein. How you taking protein from the soy?
Oh, wow.
So that's the 1200 years that they did not eat meat to eat. And even Buddhist monk, they eat only like fasting food.
Okay.
Rice and vegetable and miso soup. That's
all.
Eat for a long time.
Oh my gosh. I need to eat just rice and miso soup. I need to eat that. That might help me a little bit. You know, the last episode we did weight training. So maybe I should add this to my diet and then maybe look like you. So this food is great. But I've noticed that you haven't eaten anything, and why is that?
I was just waiting to make sure you are okay, because part of a culture we cook and make sure the guest is okay first, and then I can start eating.
Oh.
Just to make sure you are okay with it. If it's not okay, what can I else do?
Wow. So if I even have something on my face that makes it feel like I'm not sure about this, then
I'm gonna say, are you okay?
Okay.
What's wrong? Anything else I can provide to you?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
so, Lady J, this is the wrong way.
oh! So I put the
So,
chopsticks.
chopstick, this is the reason why you put this one on the top, because this is where you put your mouth. So you eat when you put it on here, you get dirt. So you make sure you
So your chopstick's got to be right.
Yes.
Because that's where your mouth goes.
Yes.
Wow, that is so interesting. I love it. Now, I did read on the culture, Japanese culture, that women had to stay home to cook. That was a priority. You could work outside of the home, but the priority was cooking, taking care of your husband and your children. What is that like? Now, being here in America, that's, that's a little different. Yeah.
This is different.
Yeah.
Yes. For now, I think the generation nowadays, a little bit more working women outside, but still women is taking care of household. And you come home, you have to cook first for whatever husband want to eat. And we take a bath every day. We used to take, I'm not taking a bath every day here, but that was a part of the culture. We take a bath every day. So we have first one husband coming back home. Would you like to take a bath first or eat first? So that's
Okay, so when you say take a bath first, so that's you taking a bath by yourself or you two taking a bath together?
no bath themselves.
By yourself.
Right.
Okay, so you take a bath first by
Right.
yourself. Okay.
Or so we ask the first thing. So which one you want to do? You want to take a bath first, or you want to eat? So at the time
Wow.
we be ready. We were how we grown up and to learn the culture.
So the more the pressure of cooking and cleaning and all that was the woman's job.
Yes, that was the women.
Even though a guy could do help or whatever, but it was the woman's job.
Right,
Okay.
and taking care of children too. So there's sometimes the father doesn't know what's going on for the children's life.
He doesn't know.
He just asks you. So what's wrong with her? What's wrong
the matter with her?
kids?
Oh,
Yeah.
What's the matter with her?
Right.
Because they don't take part really in that.
No.
Wow.
Right. So I think this is a little bit different for now, because
Yeah.
my looking at my sister's family, my brother-in-law, he does do a little more. Little by little, generation changes.
Do you think that women in America have more of a luxury to come and go, do what they want to do, cook when they want to cook, clean when they want to clean? So do we have more of a luxury?
Yes, I believe so. It's a 50-50. Like now you marry, okay, you cook this week, and I cook this time. And it's easy to say that, but in Japan, most of the expectation, men's expectation for the women is different.
Right.
Men expect the women to taking care the household.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh. Tell us a little bit about women in politics in Japan.
So because the traditional norm of women stay in home and taking care of children, and that's their traditional law. Politics in Japan is very, Japanese women is very law.
Yeah.
Yes. And I learned that 10% of politician is in, and even still nowadays, women is most of the men. Why we would choose women for leader?
Right.
Their mindset is still out there. Even they have good candidate. It's not many. But I was learning also that. 1940 something, and there was a women's voting rights.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Allowed in Japan, because I think 1920 was in America, but the 20-some years later, almost 30 years later, Japan has, and at this 1 year, first Japanese women Minister of Health was chosen at the 1948, but she stayed only 5 months.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Why only 5 months?
I did not look it up.
Did they just vote her out?
Voted out. So, but she did something that more children care for their children. You know, there was an area of government side. She did something great for government.
Do you feel like younger women, the next generation of women in Japan, kind of gonna rise up and really take a seat in politics or go for it?
I think it's very slow moving. Even now, there's only 10%, and I think not only for men now, the women is getting comfortable for their work, but then now they start going regular, you know, just working and then come back home. So it's more for Japanese women now. It's harder to balancing. You still have to go to work. You still have to come back home.
That's right.
And you have to do all the stuff. So expectation, they don't want to get out
there.
They say, I am going to be leading men. So that doesn't happen much in the women's powers.
Wow. Yes. Ooh, interesting. For many of us, our culture, through the good and the bad, has made us who we are. Can you tell us how your culture has shaped you into the queen that you are?
Work ethics I learned from Japan, because my time when I was children, we go to school 7 days. My parents work 7 days.
Okay.
So not 7 days, 6 days. Okay. The only day off is Sunday.
Okay.
So 6 days is normal time in school. It's the same thing, go to school for 6 days, only one Sunday is the time. So I think I learned, and I'm looking at my parents.
Right.
They work hard. Yeah.
Work ethics.
Yeah, work ethics.
Great.
That's I learned.
That's a great thing to learn. I mean, that's a great foundation for not only Japan but also for American women. You know, to learn how to work hard.
Right.
You know, and instill that in our children to learn how to work hard.
Yeah.
That is great.
And the other thing was, I think a lot of Americans say too, well, Japanese people are so polite, and then it's like, oh, this is a part of a culture, because our language has a different way to say if you're elderly or you are higher than your position or anything. We don't speak same language too. So we have something other to say. So I think that's just to come out naturally. That's I appreciate that for Japanese culture.
Oh, that is so good. Thank you, Takako. That is so great. Takako, I am so inspired by you. We all are. You have the ability to submerge into an environment unlike your own, yet stay very much connected to your own culture. And that is truly incredible. Now, before we conclude this episode, I have one last question that I'd like to ask our guest, everyone. As a queen on this journey, what is the one thing that you think women should always carry with her?
Part of my culture.
Yes.
I always have a handkerchief in my purse. That's always have. I think a lot of American women doesn't have. They have a tissue pocket tissue is in purse, but not the handkerchief, because Japan summer is so hot. So you have to always put myself using the handkerchief. Or if you cry, you can use. So I went to church. I was crying. I would put my handkerchief in my face. But so I have that for Lady J. I brought it for you. She had this handkerchief. That's a Japanese designer, Hanae Mori.
Oh my goodness. And I love handkerchiefs. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Thank
This is so awesome. Now we also have this tea.
Yes, grown up. This is we always drink after the meal or with
Okay.
meals. Always a tea, starting tea in the morning. I drink green tea. 2 cups of drink it every morning.
Whoa.
I used to drink coffee, but I
Okay.
switched.
I love tea.
Start with coffee, and then now green tea is my thing. So I just went back in my tradition.
I have gone to a tea exhibit, okay, Vietnamese. It was remarkable, but they taught me how to drink tea. Now, is it true that when you drink it, you're supposed to kind of like slurp it a little bit?
We do. We
Okay,
do.
you
So-
do?
But you don't make it.
Don't make no noise. Don't go. Don't do that.
That will be like your parents. I said, don't make a noise. That's
Really? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So you're just supposed to take a little. Okay.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Takako, again, thank you so much for being with us today. This has been a great time today.
Thank you.
Diversity drives innovation. When we limit who can contribute, we in turn limit what problems we can solve. By Tele Whitney. Who are you allowing to contribute into your life or not based on their diversity? Let's not limit ourselves and welcome other women along this journey. As always, thank you for letting me into your space, our space, where we show and share how we do life together. Looking forward to our next gathering.